All right, we're back. Javar, it's been a long time since we talked, but hey, we're
Yeah, it's
here.
been a lot different about the playoffs since
Yeah,
last time we talked.
yeah, boy, were we wrong. But look, we are gonna address it all. We're gonna talk about everything, but first, I feel like we have to start with what we just saw: the NBA draft lottery. It is Tuesday as we record this, so the NBA draft lottery just happened. I I cannot believe the Dallas Mavericks got the number one overall pick. Give me your reaction and like, what does this mean? And the Mavericks getting the number one pick is kind of taken away from the fact that the fucking Spurs got the number two pick with Giannis waiting. But give me your thoughts, man. Give me your thoughts. This is insane to me.
Why you don't believe it? Why you couldn't believe it? I expected it.
You expected it?
I mean, halfway joking, but like I expected him to jump into the top three at least. Basically,
Wow.
I did. I just that's how things go. See some strange coincidences. Let me see. You roll through the tape. I mean, just as recently as let's say
The
the
AD trade.
Pelicans. Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah, the AD trade. I mean, actually how they actually got AD in the first place because Chris Paul left them, and I think they were just leaving New Orleans. I mean, just leaving Charlotte, and they end up getting a number one pick, got Anthony Davis, and then right when they traded Anthony Davis to the Lakers, they got a number one pick, got Zion. Um, I mean, even with the Lakers, how many times we had protected picks that like we probably shouldn't have been able to hold those picks, but we just kept
We
getting
got
lucky and,
him. We
and
got
going down number two. Yeah,
him.
they did. Adam Silver didn't give us number one every time. You know, it would just be too obvious. But giving us
Adam
number
Silver.
two when we were expected to get a 7 or a 10, you know, I love it. But
Yeah.
um, I feel like I'm missing some more examples, but it just seems like, I mean, how about LeBron when he was coming up? Like the Cavs were terrible; they were tanking for him,
Yep.
and he pretty much knew he was going there the whole time,
Yep.
even before the lottery. So I don't know. I don't people who go to watch these things and excuse me are in the room. They swear it's actually like some kind of randomized process with ping pong balls and all that stuff, but I don't know, man. I kind of that's what I expected.
Wow.
How about, I mean, the whole top three? I mean, the Spurs, like how many top picks are they going to get? What is going on? Like
Yeah.
they are making sure Wemby is locked and loaded, and then the Sixers. I mean, there's another big market team who were tanking. They had a tough year, and have a kind of uh, a tough outlook on their franchise right now with Embiid's health situation. All of a
Yeah.
sudden, they get a top three pick too when they needed top six.
Yeah. So look.
In hell, how it unfolded where the Mavericks were like near the bottom. You could kind of the Mavericks jumped up, the Spurs jumped up, and it kind of looked like the Sixers were about to get that pickup, and then they
Hmm.
jumped up too. So
Yeah.
it's a lot of interesting things.
Yeah. The top three teams got the 4, 5, and 6 pick, or the top three teams percentage wise, which was the Jazz, the Hornets, and the Wizards. They all got 4, 5, and 6, and now it's starting the discourse of, since the NBA has went to this new style of lottery, meaning that, because look, for anybody that doesn't know, back in the day, which was 10 years ago at this point, if you were the worst team in the NBA, you had the undisputed best odds to get the number one pick. Now they've changed it to where the top three teams, or the bottom three teams, I should say, have the same odds. They did that
It's the
to
top bottom four, right?
no, it's the bottom three teams. The bottom three
Okay.
teams have 14.5% chance evenly
Okay.
to get the number one pick. Four has like 9.8 or something like that.
Okay.
But they they changed it because so many teams were tanking. So many teams were just absolutely tanking. That's one of the reasons why they implemented the playing tournament, and that's another reason why they changed the draft lottery, because they were like, look, we can't have 10 fucking teams tanking for the number one pick every single year. Like, we can't have this. But the discourse is starting to change around it, in that the quote unquote worst team has not had the number one pick yet, like in the past 5 years since we went to this. What do you think about that discourse, and what do you think about the lottery system as the even 14.5% versus the, if you're the worst, you're pretty much going to get the number one pick?
I mean, I've heard good arguments on both sides. I mean, there's no perfect solution. I do think evening I think this is kind of done a lot of its intended consequence. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
there's you know, it, it's basically saying don't tank because it's
Yep.
so random that there's no point in doing it. But these teams have kept trying to tank, saying it's better to get their 14% odds, it's better than getting 9 or 8 or whatever. And I get it, but
Mm-hmm.
it seems like it's almost like a karma system. It's almost like whoever doesn't tank hard, like as long as you try and then run out the string, and if you don't make it, you're more likely to move up in the lottery. It seems, and it's.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I don't know who's the basketball gods messing with the system back there, but I also want to give a little context. You all know who. If you listen to this, you're a basketball fan, of course, but basketball is the only the biggest sport where one player makes a huge difference, right? So like if you're toiling in the bottom, like how are you really supposed to get that franchise player if you can't get it at the draft? Because nobody's gonna go sign with the Wizards.
Mm-hmm.
And they suck because their players suck and their assets suck. So how are they gonna trade for a good player either? Like,
so here's my rebuttal to that. I personally believe that even though you have sucky players now, that doesn't mean the players that you've drafted, lottery picks, by the way, can't get better. So like, there's no reason that Jordan Poole, Bud Carrington, and whoever else they got in the Wizards can't work on their game. Can't work on their game and get better. Like, just because your team is ass one year doesn't mean that you're going to be ass in perpetuity. And like, that's my argument for like all of these garbage ass teams. Like, first of all, the Utah Jazz did not deserve the number 1 pick. They were worse than tanking this year. They were deliberately sitting out players. They would play players for like a half and they wouldn't play them in the second half. Like, fuck Utah. I'm glad they didn't get shit. But like this notion that like, oh, okay, we sucked in 2025, so we're gonna suck in 2026, 2027. We need help. We need a savior. How about your players work on their fucking game? You have the number 4, the number 5, the number 6, number 7. Like, do you have to have a number 1 overall pick in order to change your franchise? Like, no. Like, put the onus on the coaching staff, the trainers, the players. Work on your game and get better. Like, we've seen it happen. Like, we've seen it happen. Like, even somebody like the Warriors. They had the number 9 pick in Steph Curry. They had the number 11 in Klay Thompson. They had number 32 in Draymond Green. These niggas didn't have a number 1 overall pick, and the Warriors were not good for a long time. But guess what? They worked on a game. They got better. Yeah, okay, look, it helps to have a generational talent like Steph Curry. But like, I'm using it as an example. If Steph Curry wasn't a number 1 overall pick, he wasn't LeBron James, he wasn't Zion Williams, he wasn't Victor Wembanyama. So like, it can happen. Sometimes you just got to get it out the mud. Ultimately, I think that it is a good thing. I can't stand tanking. I absolutely hate it. I don't want teams sitting out players, resting players, especially if they're actually healthy. It's one thing if it's the Sixers and they're hurt. They're like Joel Embiid could not play. Paul George could not play. Tyrese Maxey, he could have played, but like, but you know what I mean? Like, look, if you're hurt, fine. But like this notion that like, oh, like we're just gonna suck unless we get number 1 pick. Nah, bro. No. Tell your players to work on their game and get better. It can happen.
Yeah, I mean, I get that too, but tanking is very beneficial too. It's like almost like the quick fix, like at least how it used to be. Building from the draft is the quickest way to rebound from. It's the quickest way to rebuild. And if you get the number 1 pick and the number 1 player is supposed to be a franchise talent, that's a layup. You would think. But yeah, I mean, good points. Good points. I mean, I don't really know what to say about, say, like the Spurs, who have got like, number 1, number 4, number 2, just keep loading up on these picks.
Yeah.
That's frustrating when, say like the Wizards or the Hornets, teams that's kind of been in the same ballpark. They just haven't had that luck. So I get it.
Look, man,
I would be frustrated if I was a fan of these other teams for sure.
Especially
after like it's like the Mavericks getting number 1. I mean, come on.
Yeah, no, okay, look, yeah, that I mean, we can all agree that's absolutely insane. 1.8% chance to do it, but if you're the Charlotte Hornets and you've got LaMelo Ball, who is an all-star, he averaged like 27 points a game this year. Like,
oh, ain't it, bro? Like,
I mean, no, I agree. I totally agree, but my point is, you have some type of talent. How about we try to build around that talent? Like clearly you have assets and draft picks. You've got money. Nobody's gonna sign there, but you can trade. You
got to do like the Thunder did, right? Have some young players, have something going on, and trade for a Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. They didn't expect him to blow up and be that good, but
Yeah.
Say like the Rockets did for Harden, stuff like that. Hell, look at the Rockets rebuild.
Yeah.
They don't really have like a blue chip player, but they've turned it
I mean,
around just off
Thompson.
of like, well,
I'm playing.
yes,
I'm
but
playing.
I'm
I'm
saying
playing.
like not like immediately impact.
Yes.
Like it's
Yeah.
apparent he's gonna be, all time player.
Sure.
So that's there's other ways to skin the cat. So yeah,
Mhm.
I agree with you.
One more point before we move off. Oh, go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead.
I was gonna say the backdrop of all this, though, it's been a crazy day in the NBA. Like right in the
Mm-hmm.
beginning, Giannis, I guess Shams put out that Giannis is interested in or like thinking about exploring trade options.
Yeah.
So how do you think that affects how the lottery played out?
Yeah, man. It's interesting because obviously it seems like the Spurs were already primed to make a move out of it. But now they got the number 2 and the number 14 pick in this draft, which is going to be juicy for a Milwaukee team that if you're giving up your superstar all time talent player, you're looking to rebuild. You're looking to get younger. You're looking to have draft capital.
You would think, but
But
they don't have their picks for like 5 years, so
the
they're
Spurs
kind
or
of
the Bucks,
the Bucks.
right? That's what I'm saying. Like they would trade
They need
Giannis
young,
for the Spurs picks. Yeah,
yeah, for young
that's what I'm
guys.
saying. So, but like some people are kind of scoffing at the idea of the Mavericks doing the same thing and trying to trade for Giannis with Cooper Flag being the chip. And look, man, I am not totally
They got to
against
think
it.
about it. Yeah, they got to
Yeah,
think about it.
because look, it's not like Giannis is one of the greatest players of our generation. Like he's a top 5 player now. He's only 30 years old. He'll be 31 by the time the season starts. But like Nico Harrison made this deal for the Mavericks to win now. He said himself he had a 3 to 5 year window, I believe. So adding Giannis, giving up Cooper Flag, if look, bro, this is how I look at it. If they do it and they win even one championship, it's a success. Like, or do you want to gamble on the fact that Cooper Flag is going to be there for 10 to 15 years and maybe win a championship, bro?
What's the
Like,
trade though? Like, because the hard part is why without Kyrie, I don't see the roster being balanced for the Mavericks where it makes sense.
mm-hmm. And you think Kyrie would have to be involved in a trade for the money?
Not necessarily, but without Kyrie, it's just AD and Giannis, and that sounds devastating. But somebody got to get them the ball. They don't got no guards. And I figure Clay is gonna have to be in the trade. Somebody got to fill the salary
Clay,
for
yeah.
Giannis's $50 million salary. So
or PJ Washington, somebody like that.
Yeah, probably a couple guys. Yeah. So
I mean,
I don't know if the trade is really there for Dallas that makes sense, but I'm sure they got to think
they
about
should
it.
explore it. That's my entire point. If Nico Harrison and anybody else in the Dallas front office doesn't explore the idea of getting Giannis, they're just not doing their due diligence. I don't care if Cooper Flag to the naked eye looks like somebody's going to be there for 10 to 15 years. It just, but whatever. That's my opinion.
I definitely could see the Spurs, though. I mean, it seems almost like a layup, honestly.
Yeah.
They got Fox already. They got Wemby, of course. Basically, anything else should be,
tradable. Get it out.
Yeah, it should be tradable. Yeah. Castle, I mean, I'm sure they love him, but
get him out.
Bye. Kevin Johnson.
Bye.
Whatever the Bucks want. Yeah, future picks.
Yep. Take it to the airport, buddy.
These picks. I mean, the Thunder are also right there. They got so many assets and the players that. I mean, I guess the Bucks will be like Jalen Williams or something.
I mean, but like Cooper Flag has to be the guy. Like if you're gonna give up, or obviously like it's if the
Bailey.
Mavs don't do it, like Ace Bailey or somebody like that, like you've got to want to get somebody fresh in there right now. Then somebody like a J-Dub who's not having a great performance in the postseason right now. But
I mean, I say that for the Bucks because the Thunder they got so many picks. And, you don't have to look at it for you're not getting Cooper Flag, but you could get all these other future picks.
7 first-round picks. Okay. All right, fine. Yeah. Okay. All right. Yeah. Let's move on. Yeah. The NBA draft. NBA draft lottery is going to be crazy. I mean, the NBA draft lottery has been crazy. The NBA draft is going to be crazy. I think it's right after the finals and late June. Let's talk about what we've seen though in the NBA playoffs. We don't got to spend too much time on the Knicks and the Pistons, but I do want to get like just base level thoughts about this young Pistons team, and kind of how the Knicks handled them in 6 games. What'd you think about what you saw?
Yeah, I mean the Pistons were tough on them earlier in the series. It took the Knicks a while to kind of figure out what to do with those guys, but
yeah.
Pistons, I feel like they need. I think I talked about this on the last part. I hope they're not just content with their squad. I feel like they still need to keep making moves.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe not nothing drastic, but you can't just expect a lot of these veterans to come back with the same kind of years. When you look at their careers, and this year has been anomalies. Or say like Malik Beasley, I wouldn't bank on that. Tobias Harris might have a similar type of year, but he may not. Also, I don't know. Just so. But all things considered, I mean, Sir Thompson, he actually was looking like his brother more often in this series. Of course, Cade was kind of going blow for blow with Jalen Brunson for a large part of it. But yeah, I mean, they're on the up and up. They're an exciting team.
Yeah, man, I agree.
Big,
I actually really like this young Pistons team. I would love a chance at a Jalen Duren. I just don't think it's going to happen. And obviously he is he's a little rough around the edges. I kind of hate to say this, but like I think he might be like a low IQ basketball player too. But I think the Pistons actually missed B. Stu in this series. He missed all the games except game one. As just like a force, even though he's like 6'6". But yeah, like this Pistons team, I never really gave them a shot to win this series just because they're just young and inexperienced. They're really similar to the Rockets, except the Rockets just have a little more talent. But I just don't think they were ready to beat a battle-tested Knicks team with Jalen Brunson and Cat leading the charge. And that's pretty much how it went. Amazing shot by Jalen Brunson, by the way, to end the series. I mean, just a Michael Jordan X just cross. Sar Thompson just got straight loss, pull up three game. It was beautiful to watch.
I kind of thought that the Knicks was going to handle them a little easier coming into it, so I was a
Mm-hmm.
little disappointed in how they looked early on. But maybe that's just more credit to the Pistons.
Yeah. I'll give the Pistons a little credit for that. Let's talk about the Celtics and the Magic very briefly, because I mean, these are two teams that are just on totally different trajectories. It's so weird though, because in the beginning of the season, Orlando was looking like, whoa, they might be the surprise team. Like, and then Paolo got hurt and missed a month and a half, and then Franz got hurt and missed a month and a half, and then Jalen Suggs got hurt and missed the entire goddamn season. And they just never really could recover. They kind of squeaked into the play in, and once we knew they were playing Boston, it was kind of just a matter of time, and it was. I mean, there's really not much for me to say aside from I think Orlando has positive momentum for next year. I think that they have draft picks. They obviously have young talent. Does anybody want to go to Orlando and play with Paolo and Franz? I don't know. But what do you think about what you've seen with the Orlando Magic and the Celtics in this series?
I feel like they're missing something.
They are,
is
for
it,
sure.
Is it a point guard? I don't know. I just this Paolo Franz my turn your turn running offense thing is kind of clunky.
Yeah.
They don't have a lot of great shooters. They got some good size, but and some muscle, but that's about it really. They just really struggle to score, at least in this series.
Yeah. I mean, look, I said it on our last pod, like Trae Young. I mean, he's a scoring and facilitating guard. He doesn't need to be an all-star on defense because they are great defensively already. And he kind of fits exactly what they need, in my opinion. But Atlanta and Orlando are just happy to make the play in, apparently. So whatever.
And the Celtics is just like they were just bombing away,
Yeah.
They had a great series, and it really just came down to if they were shooting good, nothing really Orlando could do.
Yeah, they were going to win this series, no doubt in my mind. Now, this next series is interesting. This is the Knicks and the Celtics. We're kind of caught up into the semifinals here. Look, I'm not going to lie. Look, I picked the New York Knicks to win the NBA championship all the way in October. I did. And
I don't remember that.
I did. And look, once the season started like a month and a half in, I was like, boy, am I wrong. Yeah, I was like, boy, am I wrong. But shit, man, like they're up 3-1 against the Celtics. They won the first two in Boston. And now, as we speak, right after game 4, it looks like Jason Tatum probably has a torn Achilles. We still don't have an update on that yet as we record.
But NBA today or something or what?
Yeah, maybe so. I don't know. So maybe we'll find out in the next 30 minutes or so. But yeah, man, it is not looking good for the Celtics for this season and for next season if Tatum has a torn Achilles. A lot of the discourse I've seen online is that people are blaming Jaylen Brown for this, which is it's weird. Well, because
Because he couldn't
because
pass.
no, because he should have went left, but he can't go left. He only has a right hand. So yeah, I know, yeah, I know,
Right.
yeah, yeah.
That's funny.
Celtics fans are very hard on their two stars, like any fan base is, I guess. They hate Jason Tatum for shooting, fadeaway step backs for game over Mitchell Robinson when he could have just blown by him, and they hate Jaylen Brown, I guess, because Jaylen Brown isn't good enough. I don't know.
But they
Um,
also wish Jason Tatum gets more notoriety and gets more attention, which
yeah,
is kind of funny.
yeah. But look,
Um,
let's give the Knicks credit because it is hard to go into Boston and win two straight playoff games. It's hard, especially when they have home court advantage. So to do that in that kind of fashion is it. I mean, it's character building if nothing else. And they gave up 5 first-round picks for Mikal Bridges, and a lot of people were like, "What the fuck are they doing?" Myself included. But he was a hero in both of those 2 games. He had 2 defensive stops and 2 big shots, both of those games.
Anunoby
Uh,
too.
yeah, I mean, of course. I mean, look, OG Anunoby. It's so funny because it feels like every game he has to go to the locker room because he's hurt something, and he just comes back like, "What are they injecting in OG Anunoby? Like, what are they doing to this nigga?" But it's crazy because like every single game in this series has been the Celtics are going to go up by double digits, and then here come the Knicks. It's just like, what's happening? Like, give me your reaction to this series because it's been absolutely insane in my opinion.
Yeah, I mean, I guess the only way I would explain it is that a lot of the shots that was going up, a lot of the threes, they were from people that weren't necessarily the stars on the
Mm,
Celtics. Like Brown and Tatum haven't really gotten off. Like
yeah,
Tatum finally had a great game in his last game, and then he got hurt. So that's unfortunate. But he was really really struggling most of this series.
yep.
And Brown
Shout
not
out to
much
OG
better.
and Mikal Bridges.
Yeah, yeah, and Mitchell Robinson defending the paint.
Yes, yep.
And it's also, I mean, that's Missoula ball, I guess. When you shoot, you shoot. Sometimes they just don't go in, and I guess they just trusted that it'll even out. And hell, I wasn't really sure before Tatum got hurt. I was like, man, this might still go 7, even with the Knicks up 2-0. I mean 2-1.
Mm-hmm.
Um, even 3-1. It was like, yeah, I don't know. But now if Tatum's out, then it seems like that's all she wrote. But it just, for the most part, it seemed like the Celtics were playing better than the Knicks, but then
Yeah,
they would just short circuit in the fourth quarter, and the Knicks. I mean, especially Jalen Brunson, he's been doing that his entire time with the Knicks. Like he just takes over in the fourth quarter. He's going to get the ball. He's going to dribble, dribble, dribble. He's going to shoot, and he's really effective at it. I guess he just waits and bides his time into the fourth.
yeah,
He won that Clutch Player of the Year deal, right? I mean,
yep.
so that's something. But I mean, I don't know. I've liked the Knicks squad. It's just I just kind of banked in that somebody's going to get hurt because of Tibbs, and they
Yeah.
really only got 5-6 guys that they play,
Mm-hmm.
but it's working for them now. I mean, playoff short rotation, and if these guys playing 40 minutes, as long as they can get through it.
This series kind of reminds me a lot of the series we played with Denver last year, where it felt like we were beating up on the Nuggets for the majority of the game. Like it looked like we were the better team. Like we were literally handling them. And then around the fourth quarter, 8-7 minute mark, we would just lose the lead. Like I'm pretty sure we were up double digits in every single one of those games.
I'm pretty
And
sure too. Yeah.
yeah, like it would just come down to them just closing us out and Jamal Murray just gaming us. So I don't know. It's kind of similar here where like it seems like the Celtics are just superior in every way, every position. You've got Derek White making 5 threes a game, even though Tatum and Brown haven't been spectacular. You got Al Horford stepping in. You got Porzingis, even though he's
Yeah, I was about to say that's one thing. Porzingis, he's dealing with some kind of mystery illness, and he
that he's
just
had for
hasn't
like two
really.
months,
Yeah, I don't like, bro. Like you got.
eight.
What is going on? Like, what is going on? What is going on? Like that you should not be sick this long. What is that? Uh, yeah.
Yeah,
So in
yeah.
Holiday, he just kind of started to look his age a little bit or something. I don't know. He hasn't really been effective either. So
Mhm.
Horford, he's old.
Yeah.
So it's really just come down. I mean, a week or two ago, we'd have said they were the deepest team in the league. Now it's just like,
Yeah.
oh, guys are the clock turned midnight on them. Turn the
Yeah.
pumpkins.
Yep. Yeah, the Celtics are down 3-1 as we speak. Like I said, we're still waiting on an update for Jason Tatum and that injury, but man, it did not look good.
It
I
does not look
remember,
like he's coming back anytime
No,
soon.
no, no,
Hurt
no. I
regardless,
mean,
even if it's not a torn Achilles.
yeah,
He's
you
probably
know,
out for
you
years.
when we were texting about it, you were like, he turned his ankle, and I was like, man, I didn't see an ankle turn.
But
Like,
just as I saw him holding it, yeah. But then when you
yeah,
look at the replay, it's like, ooh, yeah. That I
I
mean,
will.
Steph used to hurt himself like that back in the day, like where he had some really flimsy ankles. He would just be trying to plant, and his ankles would give out. And we kind of thought that his career would be over. This is before he blew up in the MVP stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe it could be something like that.
I will
Some kind of ligament
say,
went back.
you know, the talk online has been the amount of pain that he portrayed that he was
You don't
in.
normally see that in
Yeah,
Achilles.
you really don't. And I was like, you're right, because I mean, obviously with Kobe, with KD, with dude from Indiana that tore his Achilles like the first game this year, like it was
Dame
just
Lillard,
with Dame, yeah, like it was just like, what the
it's just
fuck was
like
that?
he's like,
Yeah,
like
yeah,
I can't. My leg ain't working right, but it don't
yeah,
hurt. It's just like
yeah. But
it's
he was
like a
like,
rubber band popped or something.
yeah, he was like writhing in pain. So maybe it is something else. Hopefully it is, but you know, time will tell. We'll see. We'll see. But yeah, it looks like the Knicks are going to advance here.
I hate to be like that vulture kind of swirling around the Celtics, but it's almost like their outlook is very
Yeah, it's not looking
cloudy.
good.
Yeah, like I don't know what, but because they're the most expensive team in NBA history, I believe, right?
Mm-hmm.
Or no, actually, that's the Suns. But the Celtics are way up. They're about to be because they extended everybody.
Yep.
I don't think they're going to be able to maintain this roster if
No, they're
Jason
not.
Tatum's going to be missing a season, possibly.
Yeah. It's funny because like I don't because like anytime we have these talks about okay, who would fit on the Lakers, like I don't really see anybody. I mean, that especially for the money they're making, that like I would
That you
really
would want from
want.
the Celtics? Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, like I just like no thanks. No
I mean,
thanks.
Jalen Brown be interesting, but they're not. I don't think they're going to trade
Yeah,
him.
I mean, if Tatum is down, they're not giving up Jalen Brown. So yeah, I mean, of course, I'd love to have Jalen Brown, but that's not happening. Milwaukee. Let's talk about the Pacers and the Bucks. For some reason, everybody was so sure that the Bucks were going to win this series, and I was just like, I don't know what y'all have seen with the Bucks, but bro,
That means people aren't watching the Pacers.
I was about to say like, okay, you know what? Maybe that's fair. Maybe that's what it is because I was just like, bro, like the Bucks
You
are
see,
not
you see
it.
Giannis and Dame. It's like,
Yeah,
I'll
like
take them. Yeah.
like these dudes. Like I'm pretty sure I said this in the last pod. Like, okay, Giannis, drop 50, bro, and like you're still down 12. Like it's like it doesn't matter. Like this team is not good. This team limped into the postseason, in my opinion, and the Pacers were just on an upward trajectory. They were killing teams, and I was like, oh, like this is like the Pacers before they traded for Siakam. Like these niggas are running, gunning, dropping 120 points a game. And I just did not think the Bucks could compete with that, and they absolutely couldn't. They got smoked in this series.
Not to mention Dame Lillard tearing his Achilles
Yeah,
in the
yeah,
middle
man.
of
I
the
mean,
series.
Jesus, like the Bucks. I mean, but like this is why the whole Giannis thing in free agency this summer is just going to be. Sorry, he's not a free agent, but like this is why it matters so much because Dame is out for next season as well. The Bucks roster is not good. Doc Rivers is a
Oh,
terrible coach. Yeah, I
yeah,
said it, Doc.
yeah. They've got no
So
picks.
yeah, they got no picks.
Kyle Kuzma is the second best player. This can't be life.
0.0 rebounds, 0 assists, like 22 minutes. Come on, man. Yeah. So I mean, you know, I know we kind of spoke about it earlier, but it looks like the Bucks are primed to trade Giannis. I hope that they actually do it and they don't wait, because it seems like you know
What's the point of just limping into a play-in or whatever? Like,
I don't know. I don't know. Like, I mean, unless Giannis like comes to you and says, "I want to stay. I want to stick it out." Even then, I'd probably trade his ass. But
yeah, I'd be like,
I
are you sure about that? Because I just don't think this is good for both of us.
mean, yeah, because like if you're Milwaukee and you've got 31-year-old Giannis going into this season, and you've got the Oklahoma City Thunder that's going to say, "We'll give you J-Dub, filler, and 6 first-round picks." Why would you not take it? I'm just saying, like why would you not?
Right.
It's tough, man. It's tough.
And Giannis, he's not getting any younger.
Nope.
He's starting to not any serious thing, but he's starting to get injured a little bit more, missing a little bit more games. He like you said, he if he give you 42 and 15 and you still can't win, is like this man's gonna get hurt trying to carry this team at this point, and it's you don't want that to happen. Yeah, I didn't even see what happened to Donovan Mitchell, but we'll get into that here soon.
But talk about it.
Yeah, you don't want to end up in a situation where he ends up getting hurt, and now you really don't have nothing, or he starts to really starts to show cracks in his game. Starts to show flaws, and people will start picking apart, and his value goes lower. And there's less years on his contract. It's the best time. He's got 2 years left on his contract before he's a free agent. He's still in his prime, and he's not demanding out. Like, just go ahead and do it now before he says, I want to go to the Knicks. Only the Knicks or the Lakers or the Warriors. And now you're bent over a barrel and you're going to get a shitty offer.
Yeah.
So,
100% agree. 100% agree. And what's the other one?
Outside of those lottery teams, who do you think is who should be cashing their chips in right now to try to get Giannis? Do you think the Thunder should do that? I think they should, but do you think they should?
Yeah. I mean, first of all, look, people are trying to talk about Giannis like he's just a guy. Like, this nigga is still one. Like, he just averaged
top 3.
Yeah, like 30, 12 on 60%. Yeah, like give me that guy, please, now. Like, give me that guy. Houston should absolutely take a swing. I mean, I would even include Amin Thompson for Giannis, bro. I mean, and look, that's coming from somebody who's super high on Amin Thompson.
I didn't expect you to say that. I was gonna say everything but Amin.
No, bro. Like, this is Giannis, nigga, at 31. Like, yes, like get him in the building.
If you were Giannis, would you want to go there though?
To Houston?
Ain't nobody to play with.
I mean, I think he can make it, depending on what they have to trade.
He wants another star to play with, so he can. Basically take the burden off of him so he's not carrying. Guess he don't want to average 30 no more.
It's too bad, nigga. Too bad. You're averaging 30. I mean, just about anywhere he goes, he's going to be the number one on the team. Even if he somehow miraculously came to the Lakers, like, I would want. Okay, never mind. Get about a Luka, bitch. But I mean, like,
no. I agree with you. I think I'd be like Giannis would be Luka gonna have the ball all the time, but to give the ball to Giannis, like alley-oops and finding him and cutting, and if you're not guarding Giannis like that, then Luka gonna have he's gonna have open lanes, and he's gonna eat you up. So
yeah, we'll see. I mean, like, I honestly don't think now that the draft lottery has come out and these teams that have the picks are gonna I don't think the Lakers are in the running at all anymore for like a Giannis, but
no.
I mean, I love for it to happen. I love for it. I just don't think it's feasible.
Unless it's just a straight up favor or Rob here. Put force on folks. You will trade me, Giannis.
Right. Yeah. Bucks fans would be outside their owner's house with pitchforks, as they should, by the way.
The Cavs. It's okay.
Yeah. That's your reward. The Cavs and the Heat. I don't want to spend too much time on this. I first of all, I was totally wrong. Last pod, I was like, the Heat about to come back. Yeah, they was ready to go. Them niggas was ready for a Cancun. Wow.
They got stomped like every game, didn't they?
Yes. I don't. Didn't they get swept? Yeah, they got swept. Yeah. Yeah. They got stomped like every game. It was
them and
bad.
The Grizzlies went out horrible.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I kind of expect that from the Grizzlies, especially after Ja got hurt. But Anyway. But yeah, now we're in the Pacers and the Cavs, and still, like, this is, to me, this is the most shocking series.
Yeah, I was gonna say, this is the one I just really didn't see at all. Like,
yeah, I mean, for Indiana to go into Cleveland, Cavs won 64 games this year. For them to go in and still not one but two, and look, shout out to Tyrese Halliburton, bro. Like, talk about, he got voted most overrated by the Athletic and the NBA players, and shout out to him, bro. This nigga's been balling. With the exception of Game 4, he was ass. But in the rest of the games,
he's interesting, man. Like, every other game, he has a stinker. I don't like one game he had 4 points, one game he had 10 points. Then he'll hit a game winner in another one, or get 30 in another one. So, I don't really understand it. I know the Cavs were a little banged up. They were missing.
They missed Garland in the first two games. Garland, they missed Mobley missed
Hunter.
Game 2. Yep.
Yeah. So everybody was back by Game 4, but they've just been on their heels, and they just don't look like they really know how to counter anything that the Pacers are doing. I mean, the Pacers, they actually play with not only with pace, they get the ball up quick, but they're not just out here like hunting mismatches and
Mm-hmm.
doing pick and rolls all the time. Like they moving the ball, like you got to know what their plays are, and they just
Yeah.
don't look like they're ready for this.
Yeah. The Pacers are interesting because they remind me a lot of the D'Antoni 7 seconds or less Suns, where it was Steve Nash running the show, and it wasn't even though the Nash and Amari pick and roll was devastating. You had to watch out for Roger Bell. You had to watch out for Sean Marion. You had to watch out for fucking Boris Diaw, Leandro Barbosa. Like anybody could step up and game you for like 4 or 5 threes in a game, and that's how it feels here. Like if it's Andrew Nembhard, if it's Aaron Nesmith, if it's Obi Toppin, like Obi Toppin, like he's coming out here and give it like, or if it's Miles Turner in one game, it's just like everybody on this team is dangerous. They're deep. They play 10 guys. Like TJ McConnell is coming in and give you 20 off the bench. It's like, okay,
I've
thanks
always
TJ
liked that
McConnell.
guy.
Yeah, like thanks TJ McConnell. Thank you. And Benedict Mathurin coming here punching people. Like, yeah, hell yeah, like yeah, like rough it up. I'm man, this Pacers team is hilarious because they're not supposed to be here, but they were supposed to be here last year either, and they made it to the conference finals last year.
Most of us thought that was a fluke.
So. Yeah, so it isn't because it looks like they're about to do it again. To me, this series is over. Like I know a lot of people are like, "Oh, it's still the Cavs." They got game 5 and 7 at home, but the Cavs look like they have no way to stop this Pacers team, in my opinion.
And then with Donovan Mitchell hurting his ankle, supposedly, I didn't see it
Yeah.
happen, but
Yeah, so they show like a little clip of him coming out to warm up for halftime where he tried to launch up for a jumper and he just couldn't launch. And whatever
he's
it
actually
was,
a jump shooter, so
yes.
that's yeah.
So the looks like the latest status is that he was present at shoot around. That was as of 2 hours ago with that ankle injury. So I'm sure with his team on the brink of elimination, they've given him whatever they need to give him to make him play. Apparently Darius Garland is running out there with some type of makeshift shoe because he has that
hold his toe together or something.
Yeah, like what, bro? Like that's crazy. Yeah, it just sounds like this team is just banged up, man. And I do not believe in them to come back down 3-1. I don't. I expect the Indiana Pacers to close this out today, honestly. So we'll see. We'll see if I'm wrong. But
how you feel about all the talks of them being the new 2015 Hawks?
I loved that team. I really did. Like I was, I was rooting for that team so hard. But I mean, if they lose in the second round, I mean, yeah, yeah. I mean, yeah. They had the Hawks team had 4 All-Stars. This one had 3.
Oh yeah, 4. Yeah.
So yeah, we'll see. We'll see. Let's switch up a little. I want to talk about the Lakers. I'm ready to talk about them because they're just pissing me off. So I just have to talk about them. Yeah. Lakers and the Wolves, we got our ass beat. We lost in 5 games. Luka Doncic was not the best player in that series. Anthony Edwards was.
But Luka only had one bad game, and that's the game he was sick in.
Yeah, I understand.
Bad.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I understand. But he's Luka. He's supposed to be the best player in any series that he's in. So
I feel I'm just saying, not to say he had a horrible series.
Yeah, no, he didn't. He did not by any means. He just wasn't the best player. He's supposed to be. And look, LeBron's 40, man. He's LeBron can only do so much. And this is, to me, when I saw how hard Bron was struggling, I was like, okay, this is just a really bad matchup for us because Bron is successful when he can get people involved, but more so when he can get downhill and attack the rim. And when you've got Gobert down there, you've got Naz Reid, you've got Julius Randle, you've got Jaden McDaniels, guys that are bigger and physical and that can protect the rim. You just kind of eliminate what he can do, and at this stage anyway. And when Bron is relying entirely on his jumper, we're cooked.
Or he's like doing nothing but driving and kicking because he can't really get all the way to the basket or not doesn't confident in getting to the basket. Yeah, it was a lot of that too. And it's just like relying on AR save us, Luka save us. It's like, man, this is tough.
It's time to go ahead.
I've been saying this for years though, man. Like I don't think LeBron is someone you can like rely on as your 1, 2, or even maybe 3 option. He's more of like, I mean, you take it when you get it, but I just think night to night he's just not bringing it like that. Like you really could expect him to have 2 great nights a week, and you just got to hope those are the big games that you need him on. And And really that comes from him shooting the ball. Like I don't know, man. I don't feel great still paying him 50 plus million.
Mm.
Because I think we need someone better for that salary slot. But maybe, for one more year, I'll bite my tongue. But I don't know if this is, I'm kind of feels like the Lakers have just been in limbo waiting for him to try to retire.
Yeah. Yeah, that's for sure. And I wish he would retire. I mean, now that we
At this
have
point,
Luka,
not this year because free agency is not great this year,
yeah.
but next year, yeah, go and retire, man. There's some better free agents out there, or at least take a
uh,
huge pay cut.
and there's one question that we had to talk about. I'm not going to let him get away with this. I know everybody loves Austin Reeves. He's supposed to be our third best player. He had an absolutely horrible series. He was on fucking lock. That cannot happen again. Now, I will say this. It was a bad matchup. Having Anthony Edwards picking you up 94 feet is tough. It's tough. But you're supposed to be our third best player, bitch. You get it together. Anyway, yeah. I mean, the Wolves, look, they completely dominated us, man. I take nothing away from them. Anthony Edwards was spectacular. Randall was good. Gobert, I mean, we let Gobert have 24 and 28 against us. It's crazy. But we don't have any bigs. We don't have any bigs. Like we're running Rui Hachimura and Brian out there at the 5. So
why the fuck did we not bring Jemison or Koloko instead of leaving Lynn? Like if we're not going to play him even when we're getting abused. Like he'd rather throw Maxi Kleber out there than, which is crazy, than Alex Lynn. That's saying something. What's the point of even having Alex Lynn on the roster then? Like.
Yeah,
at least Jamison could have tried to get a rebound and throw somebody around or something. Like we're getting punked by these guys in every single way. And I don't know if that's on Rob or JJ. JJ kind of stopped playing those guys the last couple weeks of the season. I don't know, but that was a huge oversight. We can't just blame that on not having the Mark Williams trade or whatever. That's one factor, but we had plenty of time to try to solve that big man situation.
Mm-hmm. I mean, yeah, to get somebody, like to get a body.
Yeah, and we knew that we were getting matched up with the Timberwolves like a week in advance. Like we had time to set our playoff roster, and we still decided not to bring a big, that we're going to play.
Yeah.
So that's a huge L for small ball. It's not going to work. JJ, sorry. Like that's if you're going to go small, that we need to still have floor spacing and still need to defend and rebound. You can't like LeBron's not going to play center. It's not going to happen. Rui, he was battling. He had a decent series, all things considered, but just overmatched, and it was a bad matchup. But I after looking at it play out, I don't know if we would have did much better going forward. Okay, maybe beat the Warriors if Steph get hurt. I don't know, like the Nuggets or the Thunder, they would have been a tough matchup for us once they figured out they could just abuse us inside like that.
Yep.
And yeah, if we would have saw the Rockets, I don't think we'd have beat the Rockets now. No, just looking at it. Because like that was just tragic, bro. Like we couldn't get a rebound at all. Like Jalen McDaniels was looking like a center compared to everything we threw out. He was bigger than all our players. It was bad. And yeah, AR, he had a tough series, but hell, everybody was overmatched. Everybody it was just he couldn't get a shot off, and then who he's supposed to guard. So that in a way is, I love the guy, but
get him out.
When it comes down to it, I don't want to say get him out, but like that's probably not the best way to think about roster building. Like if he's going to be a 6-man, great, but like he probably can't be your third option in this configuration unless our second option is a big or Anthony Davis or something. Like they just have to be a different configuration.
Mm-hmm.
We need more from our 2 or 3. And our 1, Luka,
talk about him.
When he doesn't have the ball, man, it's like when we're struggling on offense, we got to figure something else out. Like you got a tough defender on you, and McDaniels and Anthony Edwards and Gobert and all this. They figured out all you want to do is try to get a pick and switch. Well, we don't have any kind of bigs that can help draw the defense from inside to where he opens up the lane. We don't have anybody to throw a lob to. If we're playing 5 out, spread out, and they're switching on us, we have to do something a little different on offense instead of just try to play Luka ball or LeBron ball, pick and roll, spread pick and roll at half court. Man, like I don't know if that's on Luka or on JJ or what, but we need to get an offense that has Luka moving a little bit more off the ball, at least try to get into the post, set a screen for somebody. Like just doing some kind of actions can help open things up, call the defense to react, and that can give you an opening, even if it's a second or two, to do something different. I, I was really, I mean, that's kind of been Luka's story, but it's really disappointing to see when LeBron is actually trying to do a lot more of that stuff himself. He's setting screens, he's moving off the ball, he's trying to defend, he's trying to do all these other things outside of being the primary offensive option that he's been all his career. I'm not saying Luka is going to be a great defender or Scottie Pippen out here or whatever, but like he's got to give a better effort. He's got to actually be an engaged participant. You got to move those feet. If you get blown by after like 3 steps, that's okay. But like you can't let the first step they pass you every time. One dribble and they're gone. And just stay more engaged offensively. I mean his thing. He's hot and cold with the refs and. Oh, that's really just my main complaint. Just try a little harder on defense and on offense, move around a little bit more. And I feel like his his percentages were fine. He was shooting fine for the most part. I don't know. It's just he didn't really, he couldn't quite take over like he did last season. Maybe credit to the Wolves. Maybe there's some adjustments they made on their defensive schemes. With McDaniels and Gobert, how they're shading on secondary defenders. But I guess we just thought that since Luka carved them up last year, that it's going to be easy for us, and we just went in there with that mindset. And
so I just want to touch on a few things so we can move on. So look, Luka obviously has to get in better shape. He's still getting worn down.
What does that mean? What is that? How does that manifest? Okay,
yeah. He needs to get in better physical shape because he's still getting worn down towards the end of games, which is why you see so many times where he's dropping 20 points in the first quarter and then he's had 10 for the rest of the game. There's been too many times where since his Laker tenure, I've been like, what's Luka doing in the fourth? Like, where is he? And I'm counting regular season and postseason. But look, I'm willing. This is the one time that I'm willing to give him a break because he just came off his first real injury. He came into a new situation. He got blindsided by a trade. So this is his one free get out of jail free card for me. Now he's got this entire summer to go play basketball in Slovenia like he wants to. Let him fucking hoop his heart out because he's not going to not do it. But he needs to get in better physical conditioning. And he needs to come to this season in October with the mindset of I need to be better defensively. Like you said, like nobody's expecting this nigga to be fucking Dennis Rodman, bro. We're not. But he cannot consistently get blown by, especially having him and Austin Reeves. Like both of them, we can't have both of them just be food out there. We can't because Anthony Davis,
they just shoot over him or overpower him too often.
Yeah.
I don't know what he can do about that.
It's just because he's white, bro. They just ultimately disrespect. Just like get the fuck out of here.
For real, they did. Luka too, and then Luka they just come on and then he's like, oh, wow, like damn.
Yeah. But yeah, look. This first of all, this roster needs work, and hopefully we address that. We need some fucking athletes. We need some guys that can run and jump and dunk. Like we have no athletes out there, bro.
Cover for Luka and and LeBron, I guess.
Yeah. So let's
need some bigs, obviously.
Let's see what we can do with this roster. But let's move on. I want to talk about the Lakers all fucking day. Let's talk about the Rockets and the Warriors series very briefly. This like I said, man, this to me was very similar to the Pistons and the Knicks series. I talked about how I just don't believe the Rockets are going to win a playoff series with this roster, this young roster. Their best players are fucking 21, 22 years old. As expected, Fred VanVleet tried to carry them. He was great in this postseason. Sengun was even good, due to the mismatch with Draymond, except for Game 7. But ultimately, I never believed that this series was in doubt, especially when Jimmy Butler came back to play. I thought that once he got hurt, he would be out. But, of course, Jimmy Butler's just like, yeah, just give me whatever y'all give me in the back end. Like, I'll go out there and tough it out. And, of course, Steph is just Steph. So the Rockets have a very positive outlook, in my opinion. They're loaded with young players. They're loaded with draft capital. Obviously everybody's linking them to Kevin Durant, but we'll see what actually happens. But it's just not their time, in my opinion. What do you think?
Man, what a comeback for Steven Adams. He was looking amazing in this series,
Yeah,
wasn't
shout out to
he? He
Steven
was
Adams. Yeah,
he was a huge factor. He was just coming in wrecking shit. And they couldn't
yep.
Warriors couldn't do nothing about it until but hacking them. Amin Thompson, of course, he looked great. Van Vliet. What the fuck happened to Jalen Green?
What do you? This is who he is. I'm surprised that so many people are surprised because like this is just who Jalen Green is. Like he
was like, it was like 2, 4, like 6, like he was just not doing anything. It's one thing if you go in like 3 for 12, 5 for 20, you're just not shooting good. He just didn't look like a factor. He just wasn't even getting shots off.
He takes terrible shots. That's his thing. Like his thing is to take these like off balance threes fading away. Like that's his game. He's been doing it all season. So that's why I'm just like this is just who Jalen Green is. I didn't expect him to have a good postseason at all, especially with it being his first one.
Just been on his ass with like, don't take those fucking crazy ass shots. Like, he must have beat his ass or something. Like he looked kind of shook out there.
Yeah, lights were bright. Look, man, playoffs are different, and when teams have a chance to game plan for you, and they've got all this footage on you, seeing you taking these crazy ass shots, they're like, okay, please shoot that bullshit. Game 1 he was awful. Game 2 he exploded. He had 38. All of it was going in, and then he was literally a non-factor for the rest of the series. So
if you could take him out and drop just about anybody else in that spot, like that's like a high level scorer, like say put like Donovan Mitchell in that spot, like
woo.
Like that's really all they need is a good score. Like I mean, just to take that next step. I mean, they might need a number 2 as well, but they don't have a number 1, bro.
Yeah,
I don't think Şengün is that, but maybe he could be a number 2.
But look, they're so young in their career. That doesn't mean that they can't develop into something. But when there's a chance to get a Kevin Durant, even though he's going to be 37 years old, I think you should try. I think you should try.
You definitely should try. Look, these windows in NBA, man, they're not as long as
they're minute, bro. You got to try.
Contracts are shorter and bigger. Those extensions kick in within a couple years. So, like,
the name of the game is championships, bro. It's championships.
Yeah, exactly. So you got a lot of good pieces right here. A lot of it is young, but that's only excuse for like 1 year.
Yep.
Because in 2 years, y'all might be broken up. Somebody getting paid, and whatever. So, that's best. Definitely positive progression. It's a great year, great season for them. Number 2 seed, won 3 games,
something like that.
Amazing.
Number 2 seed.
Doing it again next year, if you have the same results at the end, it's a huge disappointment. Like they got to get out the first round, and they've got to make more steps. Well, they got time, but I feel like they need to make a move. I think they know that. I think their fans know that too.
Yeah. Let's talk about the Wolves and the Warriors. This series, man, has just been absolutely boring since Steph got hurt in Game 1.
I thought it was gonna be a great series too.
I did too. I mean, it was looking like it was gonna be a great series. Like Steph and Ant-Man were going blow for blow. Like Game 1, I mean, the Warriors stole it, but once Steph got hurt, bro, and I was like, oh, is that a hammy? I was like, oh no. I mean, I don't expect him to be back in this series at all. Like everybody's like, oh, he might be back in Game 6. I don't think so, bro. I mean, there probably ain't gonna be a Game 6 at this point. But
at his age, you don't really want to risk that.
Yeah.
So maybe if they were to get it to Game 6 or Game 7, but definitely not today or Wednesday. Was it today?
Yeah.
No, Wednesday next time.
Tomorrow. Yeah.
It still was only like maybe 10 days of rest.
No,
you don't want to mess with those soft tissue injuries at his age.
Yep. Yep. Series been boring. I mean,
I feel like the Warriors. I mean, they had their chance in Game 3. That was probably their best chance. They were up halftime in Game 4. Got worked in the third quarter. Jimmy Butler did not have a great game.
They can't score. Like they're missing 30 points a game.
You kind of remind me that he did get hurt in that first round, so maybe he didn't really look like he had the energy this last game. So I don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe
7 game
injuries
series,
flaring
man.
up.
It'll do that to you. It'll do that to you.
Yeah,
And shit, we're kind of seeing a similar thing in the Thunder and the Nuggets series where it looks like, I mean, we can go ahead and skip ahead, but well, I'm sorry. I do want to talk about the Clippers and the Nuggets because I think that was a great series. It was the best series in the first round. It went 7 games. Aaron Gordon, like, why is Aaron Gordon all of a sudden just money from three and just gaming people? Like the game winning dunk was just insane. Uh,
it's that
and
great
then
karma, man. He's taking care of his brother's kids because his brother
yeah,
died in an accident.
yeah. So yeah, man. I mean, but anyway, yeah, the Thunder and the Nuggets. It's been a really weird series because Joker has not been good. He looks tired as hell. Like, and Shea has not been good
They just had a
either, in my
7 game
opinion.
series. Oh yeah, you just said it, like, with the Clippers. So
Yeah,
and then they had what, like a day of rest.
exactly. Yeah,
Oh,
and yeah, it's starting to show. But in my opinion, it looks like every single game has been like has come down to the others. Like
yeah.
whether it's Russell Westbrook hitting 4 or 5 threes in I think it was game 2 or game 1 to help them steal that lead, where Aaron Gordon eventually games them, which was just insane. Or in this past game 4 where the Thunder get like 42 points from their bench, where Casey Wallace and Aaron Wiggins and everybody else is hitting 2 or 3 threes. Caruso, it's just been a really weird series, but it looks like to me the Nuggets are just tired. They're just tired, and I don't know how they can win this series with 2 more games to play in Oklahoma City. I'm not saying it's impossible. Like obviously we all know Joker, 3-time MVP. He's one of the all-time greats. We get it, but it looks like this is a series that the Oklahoma City Thunder are destined to win. What do you think?
Is it me as a Joker, like looking skinnier lately? Like, like that's how you know he's tired. My man been working, man. Um,
This nigga trying to
so
carry him.
yeah, I mean, I still think this is going 7, which
Wow.
means
Okay.
it's tough to call. I just because the Thunder's role players are just so shitty, or they're not playing good. It's like Caruso is the only person stepping up, uh, and not Holmgren, but Hartenstein
Hardenstein.
had a good game. Uh, just like the Nuggets. I mean, Joker's missing a lot of bunnies, like shots he
Yeah, he
normally
is.
makes. That's another way you could tell he's exhausted. I just feel like he's going to dig deep, and he's due for at least one other good game, and I feel like Jamal Murray is due for another good game.
Yeah,
Jalen Williams, has he had a good game yet? I mean, sometimes it just comes
he did
down
in
to your
game
best
two.
players. Can they perform?
Yeah,
And
in
good
game
game
two, I
too.
think he had a good game, but the rest of the series, he has not been good. Um, and like I said, SGA man, he's look. I kind of excuse the 4 game series in Memphis because they were just dominating him. He just wasn't playing regular minutes.
Mm-hmm.
But in this series, I mean, like he's been good, but he hasn't been MVP level SGA that he's been all year. But look, maybe he'll have a great game 5 and game 6 and close him out, and nobody will care. But yeah, I don't know. I just don't know how the Nuggets can recover from you know not winning both of these Denver games in games 3 and 4. So we'll
Are you
see.
ready for a Wolves Pacers NBA Finals?
No, but I am ready for a Wolves Knicks. I think that'll be super interesting. That'll be hilarious. Like the 2 teams that made the blockbuster trade
That
playing
would be
each other in
crazy.
the
That would
NBA
be crazy.
Finals. Like that'll be
That's
hilarious.
turned out to be a win-win trade.
Yeah, so far, yeah.
Like this, the Knicks, the Love Towns. He's playing great. They
Mhm.
probably missing having DiVincenzo, but the
I think they
Wolves,
miss
yeah, they
iHeart.
well, he wasn't a part of the trade, was
No,
he?
he
They
wasn't.
just
He just
running it over
left.
with him. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, they could use him. They really could use him right now.
Hmm.
And yeah, the Wolves. I mean, Randall kind of started off bumpy, but now they love the guy. DiVincenzo giving them another rotation player.
Yep.
Win-win team, win-win trade. You don't always see that.
Yeah. So let's assume that the Wolves are going to be in the conference finals again. Let's assume that it'll be Knicks Pacers because we don't know who's going to win the Thunder and Nuggets. Who do you got? Knicks Pacers. How many games?
And no, honestly, I would say that was probably going 7-2. I think I would actually root for the Knicks.
Mm.
The Pacers got a deeper squad, and
Yeah,
it may become like a war of attrition by as the series goes on. So
yeah.
my heart's telling me Knicks in 7, but my head is probably telling me Pacers in 6.
Wow. It's interesting because I feel like I kind of agree with your sentiment that the Pacers are just going to continue to run and run and run. And, Thibodeau is going to continue to play his guys 46 minutes. And you kind of just got to hope that those hammies and those ankles and everything else is just going to hold up.
Mm-hmm.
Because the Pacers, the Pacers are going to play, 9 to 10 guys every night. They're going to. You can book it. Whereas, I don't know. I feel like the Knicks are going to have to open up their rotation. They're going to have to, but who knows? I mean, I can't say I'm rooting for the Knicks. Sorry, Russ, I can't. But I did pick them to win a championship, so we'll see. We'll see.
So you feel like the Wolves got the edge on either the Thunder or the Nuggets?
No, but if it goes 7, then yes. If because then that's just them playing more games, them being more tired, them getting less rest, while the Wolves are going to be very rested. It seems like, and look, the Thunder have to show me, bro. I'm sorry, like I don't really believe in them.
I'm picking against them almost every time.
Yeah, like they have to show me that they're like that, and when they do, I'll give them their flowers. But until then, I don't believe. So that's just my opinion.
Fair. That's how it goes.
Look, man, great pod, guys. Make sure you like the video, comment down below, and subscribe to the pod. Javar, thank you so much, man. I appreciate it.
Till next time.
Yes, sir.